Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the 14th podcast of CIPS MENA Procurement Master Talk Show. Today, we are joined from Cairo by Dr. Sherif Mahmoud Aboelgheit, General Manager for HR and Deputy General Manager for Procurement at ENPPI Petroleum Company, Egypt. We will know about him shortly. I'm your host, Lalit Dhamija, uh, Executive Chair of Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply UAE branch committees in a volunteer role for over a decade. I am a procurement and supply chain management trainer and solutions provider. Uh, Over the past 40 years, I have worked with CEOs, CPOs, and trained thousands of executives, managers, and project leaders in Fortune 500 and multinational companies. With Dr. Sharif, we will discuss about Egypt Petroleum Show 2020 and 2021, outlook of Egypt petroleum industry, global participation of suppliers in Egypt oil and gas, and major players shaping the rising Egypt petroleum industry. And also we will talk about future of procurement from low cost countries and more. We will summarize the key learnings at end of the podcast. Dr. Sharif Aboelgheit has over 20 years of experience in the field of strategic management, procurement, supply chain management, and project management in major multinational companies. Dr. Sharif is a Bachelor in Engineering, Electric Power, and has master's degree in business administration from the Arab Academy for Science Technology. Dr. Aboelgheit earned his doctorate degree in business administration from Ain Shams University. He is certified as International Supply Chain Manager. Dr. Sharif is also a management, supply chain, and project management trainer and consultant. Dr. Aboelgheit is a regular speaker, panelist, and chair in national as well as international conferences and seminars. Welcome, Dr. Sharif. Welcome to the MENA Procurement Master Talks, Dr. Sharif.
Thank you so much, Professor Lalit. It's my pleasure to be part of this successful podcast series, actually, and to be with you and with the audience.
Dr. Sharif, you have been closely involved with the EGYPS 2020 and also, as it is called, Egypt Petroleum Show 2021. Please tell us about this petroleum show.
Well, actually, this show for us is something surprising us from the beginning. From when we started this show 3 years ago in Egypt, we didn't even expect this success. North Africa and Mediterranean leading oil and gas show become one of the most leading oil and gas show, working under the support and patronage of His Excellency, our President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi.
Mhm.
For example, you know that I like numbers, like I'm a guy who is a fan with numbers.
Yeah.
So for example, when I tell you that Egypt 2020 hosted around 450 exhibitors from 80 countries,
Wow.
welcome around 30,000 attendees over 3 days. Actually, it was for us very good opportunity for buyers and sellers to be under same roof, under same location.
Mhm.
In its fourth edition, Egypt established itself as the region's leading platform where business is conducted, relationships are forged, an oil and gas professional network, and sharing industry knowledge and expertise. To be honest, it's located in a big area in Egypt,
Mhm.
carrying around more than 30,000 gross square meter space.
Okay.
I find that for Egypt's 2021, which is carried out next February, just open for registrations 2 weeks ago. I just checked, I found more than 50% of the spaces already registered in less than 10 days.
Oh.
This gives you a clue about the importance of this conference actually, and the energy and the heat it did with the oil and gas industry.
Dr. Sharif, I can tell you one thing from outside, because we have been seeing a lot of coverage in the press, in industry magazine, in petroleum magazines, in social media. So that itself talks much about the show. That is, you are taking care of a good publicity marketing. From over the years, I've been seeing, like initially it was for the earlier editions. So
Yeah.
that way, some good things are being done, definitely.
Yeah, actually, you are
Uh-huh.
right. Many speakers even sharing their ideas and their
Mm-hmm.
expertise, about more than 300 speakers,
Okay.
more than 70 conference sessions,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of agreements have been signed, even governmental agreements.
Mm-hmm.
Many ministers have been sharing their expertise as well. So for us, it's like festival where you can have, as I told you before, buyers and sellers together gathering information, meeting each other.
Mm-hmm.
Even after we finished last steps 2020, we make a survey for
Mm-hmm.
the participant whether they found what they aiming to or not. I find very nice actually responding. For example, 93% of the visitors are satisfied that their ROI had been covered.
Good.
More than 91% likely to attend 2021, and already, as I told you,
Mm-hmm.
more than 50% already registered right now. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, it started big and it continued every year to be enhanced and to be bigger and bigger. To be honest, it's now one of our conferences which we are waiting for every year, not only us or in the Mediterranean region, or no, it's all the world now attending it. As I
Uh,
told you also,
yes.
we have around more than 15 international oil companies participated in last year conferences, and I believe it will be more and more in 2021 and in the coming years as well.
I'm sure about it. When they got passionate people like Dr. Sherif, so definitely they will see the results. And now hardworking and sincere, passionate people are behind it. And Dr. Sharif, what is the outlook of Egypt petroleum industry in your opinion?
To be honest, in the last, for example, also in 2019, for example,
Uh-huh.
oil and gas industry in Egypt witnessed great leaps in its whole value chain,
Mm-hmm.
from upstream to downstream. You cannot imagine, Lalit. Actually,
Yeah.
along with the service provided to citizens through availing the petroleum products and national program to convey natural gas to residential units,
Mm-hmm.
actually, we have a lot of booming in the industry in the last 5 years. For
Mm-hmm.
example, now we have realizing unprecedented natural gas product reached now around 630,000 barrels per day. This never happened before in Egypt, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Also reducing IOC's accumulative arrears. Now we are reaching lower rate. This can give you a clue about the credibility
Mm-hmm.
and commitment of the Egyptian government toward the booming of oil and gas. We already pay a lot of debts regarding the IOC's
Mm-hmm.
accumulative arrears.
Okay.
In addition, we for upstreams, we signed around 8 oil and gas exploration agreement with main investment around $180 million. In addition, there are more than 17 ongoing agreement now with around $1 billion. This is for upstreams.
Mm-hmm.
For downstreams as well, there is a lot of booming now. For example, we have a company, Egyptian refining company.
Mm-hmm.
It's considered the largest and most recent refining project in the area right now. So
Mm-hmm.
actually, it's booming industry, oil and gas right now,
Mm-hmm.
cover around more than 27% of the overall GDP in Egypt, which is can give you a clue about the importance of oil
Yeah.
and gas.
Yeah.
Also, we cannot do that without the cooperation and partnership we have with our foreign IOC's partners
Mm-hmm.
like BP, like ExxonMobil's, like Shell, like Aramco, like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of actually companies worldwide. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
list them all, but we
Yeah.
cannot do that without the cooperation and the partnership we have with all our IOC's partners. So
Mm-hmm.
it's booming industry right now. We're open our hand for everyone to participate in this challenge. As I
Yeah.
said, many projects, a lot of infrastructure projects right now running on in Egypt. So I believe it's right time for anyone who want to invest or who want to see the booming in oil and gas Egyptian is right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know oil and gas and petroleum world is looking towards Egypt. And Dr. Sharif, what do you think? What about the global participation of suppliers in Egypt oil and gas industry? Who are the major players? You mentioned some already, and who
Yeah.
are likely to play a key role in Egypt oil and gas industry?
Actually, we believe that sourcing aim to achieve best value for money by
Mm-hmm.
taking the following factors: price, quality, delivery, ethics. So suppliers should follow ethical code of conducts and
Yeah.
ensure workers are treated fairly,
Mm-hmm.
sustainability, availability. So we are open actually to the whole world who satisfy this value for money. And I
Good.
believe it's very normal. We are working with the whole world, Lalit. We
Mm-hmm.
are getting material from everywhere. Material like valves, pipes, pressure vessels, panels, cables, and many, many, many others
Mm-hmm.
material. My company, MP, is the engineering arm for petroleum sector in Egypt, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
We have a vendor list department, which is very professional. Actually, we are searching hours for suppliers in overall world who can
Mm-hmm.
satisfy us, who can cover our capabilities or our requirements like technical capability, commercial capability, financial, ethical, environmental. So
Yeah.
any supplier who can find
Mm-hmm.
himself capable to cover our requirement, which is very normal requirement by the way, he
Yeah.
is very welcomed to share with us and to be part of our vendor list and go with our many bids. We send many actually competitive tenders
Uh-huh.
and we working with that. So we are open to all countries. We have many suppliers. We have many offices, by the way, out of
Mm-hmm.
Egypt,
Okay.
like in Europe, like in Latin America, like in Gulf, any all. Even now, we are searching about to having some places in India, or because this place also is very important place now.
Yeah.
India and China and this part of the
Mm-hmm.
world is very important and very
Mm-hmm.
sourcing, very good sourcing.
Mm-hmm.
You can work with them to achieve also value for money. So we are working with overall world, as I tell you, who can
Yeah.
cover our attaining our requirements. That's it.
Dr. Aboelgheit, if somebody wants to register with you, any supplier, so what is the guidance? How can they approach Egypt oil and gas industry, or for this show? How can they register? How can they come on the vendors list?
That's very good question. I always hear it. Actually, it's become very easy right now. You can just go through MP website
Mm-hmm.
and you can see vendor registration electronically, and
Okay.
you can see our requirements first and put all the needed documentations,
Uh-huh.
and automatically it will be transferred to us and we will make assessment for this documentation and sending you if we
Uh-huh.
need more info, something like that, or clarifications. We are dealing
Okay.
with it,
Okay.
and it's now a minimum time. You can in a very short time you can be registered. It's not a big requirements. However, it's an essential one. You can know all through our website.
Okay. So nowadays, that is digitization has made it much easier uh,
Exactly. Yeah.
for registration. And Dr. Sharif, you are a regular visitor to conferences overseas for sourcing and procurement. I know I have met you several times in different countries.
Yeah.
And how do you see future of procurement from low cost countries?
Oh, yeah. This is an important question as well.
Yeah, in this
Actually, I believe.
present scenario, you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Sure.
Uh-huh.
That's why you are speaking about a very important question as well.
Yeah.
This is very normal from a professional guy like you, to be honest.
Mhm.
I believe that procurement from low cost countries will now be one of the main procurement strategies
Mm-hmm.
applied, especially after COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
It will provide good opportunities, Lalit, for both parties, buyer and sellers. The
Yeah.
buyer will get good prices, which can enhance getting value for money from their perspective. On the other
Mm-hmm.
hand, the whole economy of the low-cost countries will be enhanced. However, there are some barriers or some several aspects had to be put in consideration from my point of view.
Right.
For example, the quality of the material,
Yeah.
the ethical sourcing and concept of modern slavery is very important, to be honest,
Yes.
and environmental concern. From my regular participated in overseas conferences, I can see that procurement from LCCs already started to be increased with these constraints I
Mm-hmm.
told you about concerning quality and modern slavery issues.
Right.
I believe individual must be not forced to work for little or no pay or something like this, or children working. And so if we make sure that this is not carrying out, if
Mm-hmm.
we can make sure that quality is good
Yeah.
and no problem in as ethical sourcing, we are open for LCCs or low cost countries. And we
Okay.
already, by the way,
Uh-huh.
starting doing that. I know you know that we're starting doing this from many countries, and it's now booming. But after we make our own analysis of the market, whether it's ethical one or it have any modern slavery issue or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe in the coming phase, I know it's now booming, but in the future it will be more and more booming and mutual benefit for both parties, buyers and
Yeah.
sellers.
I think Dr. Sharif, you are also related with the Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply because we talk much about modern slavery these days.
Yeah, yeah.
So yes, I believe you are doing you are on final stages of completing your MSIPS, being
It's
a
my
full
pleasure
member
to be
of
honest.
MSIPS. Yes,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
tell us about that something about
Sure. Actually, CIPS or Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply, it's for us, it's something very valuable here.
it. Hmm.
And I know I'm already authorized for many organizations. However, to be organized and be part of this Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply, for me,
Hmm.
it's very, very important. That's why
Yeah.
I'm now in the final phase of finishing and to be MSIPS. It's all my pleasure to be like this. And I'm very honored to join this kind of professional people, a professional platform for
Hmm.
procurement and supply. And yes, it's gave a lot to me, to be honest, and increasing my understanding of procurement. However, even I'm already authorized for many organizations, but CEPS is something very unique,
Ah,
and it take a lot of time studying and something
yeah,
like
I
this.
know.
But I believe it worth, as joining this kind of people are very, very important and very honored to be part
Ah.
of this community.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sharif. And when we talk about procurement, what, in your opinion, what can procurement do to have maximum impact on an organization, in your opinion?
Wow. You know that currently procurement is one of the major activity in any organization.
Mm-hmm.
Around more than 65% of the overall cost in any organization is for buying material and something like this. More than 65%. And the
Yeah,
remaining 35 is divided between labor cost and overheads.
yeah,
This gives you a clue, Dr.
yeah,
Lalit, about the effect of procurement and its
yes,
direct impact on the company profit. So even if you are trying to get something minimizing the cost, it will directly affect it directly
yeah,
your profit. So procurement department is able to specifically add value by
yes.
ensuring that it achieves the rights of procurement: place, quality, quantity, time,
Mm-hmm.
price. These rights will be part of the procurement KPI that procurement must meet in order to support the overarching business strategy. So actually, no clue that procurement is very important activity in enhancing organization profit 100%.
I'm glad you talked and you touched basic points, which very easily people forget. And we talk about new technology. Okay, we have to absorb and we have to use the new technology, new concepts, and it takes time in implementing them and seeing the results of those. You are sticking to the basics and you appreciate basics which are evergreen, right quality, right time, right specifications, right? So those are the basics which you are sticking to. And also, as you mentioned, procurement constitutes a good amount of spend of a company. Like you mentioned, 65%. It will, of course, vary from industry to industry. It could be even 40 to 85%, depending on what industry we are talking about. So definitely, procurement is extremely important for any organization. If managed properly, it will really result in a value for money, and we can generate value from doing proper procurement. Uh, Dr. Aboelgheit, what, in your opinion, are the four future challenges you see for procurement professionals, and what will be your message for the young procurement professionals?
Oh, I will take the second part first about
Uh-huh.
the my
Sure.
message to the young procurement. It's very important. I
Uh,
used to do this with
uh-huh.
my team, actually, especially the fresh graduates and the people who join newly the procurement activities.
Mm-hmm.
First, I believe carrying out procurement activity responsibly in accordance to the organization ethical concern is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I told them to fully understand their value in the organization. Procurement is very important, as we said, playing key role in achieving the overarching strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I do believe they have to fully understand the tools in their hand, like negotiation capabilities, the role they play, and the need to enhance
Mm-hmm.
supplier relationship management. You know that all of the people looking for CRM, customer relationship management, but
Mm-hmm.
also SRM is very important from my point of view. They have to
Right.
concentrate more in this aspect
Mm-hmm.
to keep following as well last updates in procurement by attending conferences whenever it's possible and check latest updates and new technology in procuring activities.
Mm-hmm.
To keep fully aware about their customer requirement and make sure about their customer satisfaction. It's very, very, very important. Challenges is very obvious, Professor Lalit, to be honest. In this
Mm-hmm.
era of competition, huge competition actually, and being part of the organization who make the high profit, you have to work very closely with your suppliers to
Yeah.
enhance the value you're getting from them in order to directly affect, as I told you before, the profit. So
Yeah.
it's already very important challenge in this competitive era we are working in right now.
Sure. Yeah, we have to maintain sustainability. So sustainability, one of the elements is profit also. So
Definitely.
sure, you talked about ethics, you talk about modern slavery, and you
Yeah.
talk about economical, and then of course you are talking about the environment also.
Yeah.
So great. And what are the future challenges you feel for procurement professionals? And maybe you already covered in this, but
Yeah.
any other thing you want to add?
Actually, yeah, they have to be fully aware about the technology changes now, like
Ah,
digitization, for example. They have
yeah.
to be part of this. They have to understand the technology advancing and also to be coping with the changing, which I believe will happen in procurement after COVID-19. So
Mm-hmm,
they have to be more flexible,
mm-hmm,
more eager to learn. This is
mm-hmm.
very, very important because
Yeah.
if they are not joined, this is changing, they will suffer a lot and will not attain what they have to do.
Yes. Correct. Um Dr. Sharif, we have seen you got such a good depth of knowledge as far as the procurement is concerned, petroleum, oil and gas scenarios, and about the stakeholders involved in oil and gas
Yeah.
and related aspects. We want to know, our audience will not really like to know, how did you enter into procurement and supply chain world, and how far has your journey been so far?
Yeah, actually, I like the journey, to be honest. I like talking about it. You know,
Uh-huh.
it's very, very nice
Yeah.
thing to me. Actually, I joined the workforce in 1999, graduated from faculty. As an electrical engineer, I work in technical fields first to
Okay.
understand the how the issues are being done and how the equipment are being installed and everything at site
Mm-hmm.
for 3 years. Then I find myself, Lalit, passion about business, passion
Mm-hmm.
about business trading and people communications and
Mm-hmm.
business, something like this. So I took my MBA and then my DBA, because I like this
Uh-huh.
aspect too much. I
Okay.
transfer my career to work in sales and marketing first of all, then to supply chain starting from the year, I believe, 2002 in big companies like ABB, like ASIC Automation, in many places, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, I have the honor to join MP Petroleum Company, one of the main companies in oil and gas in Egypt. It's,
Mm-hmm.
as I told you, engineering arm. I work in procurement division. Then I have been promoted, working in many projects actually in supply chain and procurement activities,
Uh-huh.
which I'm proud of. One of them was Zohar project, for example, which was booming project, one of the biggest project in gas field actually.
Uh, uh-huh.
And I was part of the procurement team. I put myself in a very nice place, and with them actually, I like to be part of this team, and we did great job, to be honest. Then I've been promoted in many positions till I became now the deputy general manager for procurement, and then I've been promoted to be the HR as well, general manager. The
Oh.
journey, I do believe that procurement is my passion, like meeting people, making deals,
Mm-hmm.
negotiating. I believe in win-win, as you know. I believe in both parties have to be happy from the discussion, from negotiation, from the deal itself.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot work alone, Lalit. You
Yeah.
cannot be, you cannot take everything. No, you have to work with people. People are really I do believe they are very important. They are the main asset in any organization.
Yes.
Relation, business is for me my passion, and to get deals and to finalize problems and to negotiate in a good way for both parties is really what I like. It's, you can say, it's my hobby. So I do believe that supply chain and procurement is my playground. Yeah.
Yeah, and absolutely. And as you are people's person, you talk about human, you talk about ethics, you talk about modern slavery, you talk about relationship management. So it is so good to know that you are also general manager in HR. So this
Yeah.
will be a good combination, I believe. Procurement, HR, and then you have got roles in different aspects and different disciplines of the company. So it is good to know procurement people also, in addition to their roles, they are even taking care of other larger roles in the company. And
It was my pleasure, actually,
yeah,
and the trust of my company.
yeah, thank you. And Dr.
Some-
Sharif, now this may be time to wrap up. And you
Yeah.
told us about EGYPS 2020, how successful it was, and you gave us detailed statistics, and also how enthusiastic you are about Egypt Petroleum Show 2021, where you said like within 3 days, 50% vacancies or spaces have been already taken up, and there is a great leap in upstream and downstream activities. And the best part which I liked was 27% overall GDP of Egypt is based on oil and gas, uh, oil and gas industries. And you got all the players from all around the world who are working with you, whether it is big oil majors like BP, ExxonMobil, Aramco, or other suppliers from countries like India, China, and all over the world. Uh, there are vendors who are supporting you, and there is a mechanism by which they can register within your company online. And you talked about ethics, modern slavery, and supply relationship management, how to take care of company requirements. And your message to youngsters was that they have to take care of these aspects, as well as they have to be aware of modern technologies, evolving technologies, and how to use them. You talked about importance of profit also, so that the sustainability can be maintained. And then we were pleased to know about your journey, how you entered into procurement and supply chain world, and your passion. for studies and work, took you to multiple roles as a deputy general manager procurement as well as general manager of HR in your company. It has been really pleasure talking to you, Dr. Sharif, Mahmoud, Aboelgheit. It was really nice talking to you. If you got any parting or final comments, you are welcome to share with our audience.
I would like to thank you so much for this nice conversation, and thanks again to be part of this successful podcast, which I used to follow
Uh-huh.
eagerly, because I know that you are very good presenter and very good negotiator, and you already actually get very high caliber people to talk about business with you. So thanks to be part of this. Thanks to the audience. I hope this can add value for everyone. And thank you so much for everything, Dr.
Thank you very much for meaningful insights, Dr. Sharif. Till the time we meet again somewhere, sometime. And thank you. I really appreciate your time and contribution to body of knowledge.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, audience, for joining us in the 14th podcast of CIPS MENA Procurement Master Talk Show. And we thank you for your queries, for your encouragement, for your support for these talk shows. And we have got many other lined up, which will be in due course, which will be announced. And you can subscribe to our channel so that you get automatic notifications on the podcast. Thank you very much.